The police found that the driver of an SUV didn't have his seatbelt on. The officers stopped the vehicle on the road. They then asked the driver what exactly was going on. The cops thought that they could just give the driver a fine and go away, but things were about to take a surprising turn.
GMC SUV right here. Driver doesn't have his seatbelt on. I'm gonna get him stopped and talk to him. Doesn't look too happy that we got him pulled over.
The officers then asked him if he had his driver's license with him. The driver replied in negative, but recited his license number. Just as the officer was getting his notepad out to note the license number, the driver dashed off, leaving the officers flabbergasted.
You got a driver's license in here?
No, sir. 835.
Hold up, I ain't that good. Let me get the notepad out and we'll start over.
The police wasted no time and went after the man. What came next was a climactic and high-speed car chase. The SUV blazed through the road with the police hot on the trail. Just when you might think the police had finally caught up to the SUV, the driver somehow overtakes the cops and gets away skillfully.
We are taking a ride on 33rd Avenue North.
He has no bond, which explains why he ran.
In the midst of the chase, it seemed like the car had hit an 18-wheeler, but that didn't temper the driver's spirit. He was still determined to get away at all costs. The driver was making it through the busy road despite having a damaged rear.
Getting off the full bell exit. I think this goes to 22.
Soon we can see the car go right into the bushes. The police thought they had nabbed the man after the long chase. The cops got out their car and surrounded the SUV, but it looks like the chase has just begun. The man immediately reversed the car and headed off. The cops followed. Despite losing the left tire on the vehicle, the man still kept going. He then went off the interstate onto a smaller road. The police had called for backup and were all dead set on catching this skilled criminal.
Looks like he lost a left tire. Going left right here on 30th Way. Guys left, right, then left.
Soon he stopped the car and dashed off into the wilderness. The police weren't far behind him. They too got out their car and followed the man into the wild. The man finally stopped in front of a house and ran in.
There you go. Straight ahead. Straight ahead.
It turns out that the man ran straight into his own house. All his documents were linked to this address. The police surrounded the area, keeping a watchful eye in case he flees. They weren't about to let the man get away once more.
Yeah, that's his house.
This is Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. If that's bad, you just surrender and bring yourself outside and end this peacefully.
The police found the man hiding in his attic. The officers cajoled him to come down. The man descended from the attic after the officer's persuasion.
Drop down. Just drop down. Come on. You're 2 feet away. All right.
Put your hands behind your back.
See how easy that was?
The cops were sweat-stricken by the end of the long and eventful chase. Although they could barely speak, the expressions on their face clearly indicated how proud they were of playing a part in serving justice. Here is what the officer had to say at the end of a theatrical and eventful chase.
Just over this hill right here is where my vehicle is. That's where I gave chase. I took a couple tumbles and lost sight of him. He actually made it to his address, got inside the attic. License plate on the vehicle is attached to this address. His ID is attached to this address. He surrendered and he was taken into custody. All in all good, nobody's hurt. There's a few vehicles that are damaged. He's gonna face his warrants and other multiple charges.
The police noticed that the car in front of them was swaying back and forth. It was also hitting the white lines on the road frequently. The officers decided to look into the matter.
An individual in front of us keeps swaying back and forth, hitting the white lines. I'm actually gonna pull into there.
The officer stopped his car and got out to talk to the people in the car. He politely asked them what was going on. But then something crazy happened. A man got out of the car and ran away. That was totally unexpected.
Usually I'm stopping whenever I was following you on 62. You hit the line a couple times, just make sure you're not intoxicated, anything like that. I don't think you are. Stop!
The police were taken over by surprise when the man ran like he was on fire, but soon they got over their shock and chased him. The nail-biting chase looked like it was straight out of an action film. The man ran ahead of the cops very swiftly. The officers had trouble keeping up with him.
Hey, I'm 30. I'm in foot pursuit westbound 62. Stop! Hey!
It is quite certain that the man had successfully evaded the police, so the officers had no choice but to set up a perimeter to make sure that he didn't get away.
Vehicle still on scene. Detain those individuals if they're still inside the vehicle.
The officers then went back to the car to talk to the others. It seems like they were friends of the escapee, but upon talking to them, the officers found out something interesting.
Steven, he's not from around here, he's from Madison.
Steven, that was the guy that we were just at the pursuit with. Did you guys pick him up there? We were just in pursuit with him. Where at?
That's why he ran.
It turns out that this is the second time that he successfully ran away from the police. He had police from another country searching far and wide for him. This man was not an ordinary fellow. Getting away from the cops twice is certainly not an easy feat.
So an hour ago, this guy runs from Scott County. Can't catch him. He's crashed, and he's fled into a wooded area.
However, his friends knew nothing about his escapades. They even thought that he was a decent guy and a good father. They were unaware of the adventures he had while fleeing from the cops.
I've only known him about 2 years. Seems like a straight up, forward dad. He's got his kids. I didn't know. I guess he lives a double life, I reckon.
Yeah.
But just because he ran away doesn't mean he won't get caught. The police have already collected enough information from the paycheck stubs he left in the car. Soon the cops will be able to track him down and put him behind bars.
Left his paycheck stubs for where he's working in the car, so I got that. I'll just have one of the marshals waiting on him. He gonna go get his money, I know that.
He's ran from us twice tonight, and we lost him both times, but we identified him as Mr. Filed warrants for paraphernalia that fell out of his pocket and also for resisting. Scott County's got multiple charges.
Deputy Justin Pilara from Pasco County was driving through the dark night when he spotted something suspicious. He saw a man walking on the street holding a rifle case. The officer immediately took action and decided to investigate.
Black male carrying a rifle case on Baden Drive.
He stopped the car next to the man and asked him what he was doing with the rifle case at such an ungodly hour. The man dropped the rifle case, taken aback by the cops' confrontation. The man was even quite cooperative and answered all of the cops' questions.
Hey bro, what are you doing with that rifle case? Can you drop it? What are you doing with that rifle case? Is there a rifle in there?
No, it's just ammunition.
Ammunition?
If this man possessed a rifle case, there was a good chance he had some dangerous weapon on him. The officer then searched the man for possession of any weapon. He patted the man down and was surprised when he couldn't find one.
You got any weapons on you?
No weapons on me.
Turn around for me.
This puzzled the officer. Why did the man have a rifle case full of ammo if he didn't have a gun on him? Why was he out on the streets at night looking suspicious? What was this man up to?
Why are you carrying this around?
No, because I just got it from
You just got it from what? Who's that?
my brother.
He dropped you off, but why is he so far back there and you're right here?
We just came from the store and then, you know, like...
All right.
Oh, matter of fact, go ahead, touch it, go ahead, grab it.
The officer then took the rifle case to his car for further investigation. He left the man alone on the street. This was a huge mistake. The man saw this as a golden opportunity and slowly removed his shoes. He was about to get away. He then dashed off, leaving the cops bewildered.
Stay right there.
Yes, sir.
Broken watch, wallet, all kinds of... Yeah,
hey, bro.
Gonna be the caller stuff up the ledge.
Then came a very exciting chase. The man ran ahead very swiftly. The police had trouble keeping up. The billion-dollar question is, did the man manage to outrun the police, or will the police get to him?
Okay.
304, 1031 on foot. Westbound on Baden.
It turns out that the man ran so fast, like a bullet, that he evaded the police. The dejected officers then came back to the car. They were ready to take a closer look at the rifle case to find out why the man was running away from it. Maybe he had something dangerous in there, but it turns out that wasn't the case.
10-4, we're coming out to Darlington. This is what he wanted to run from, so we'll see what's in it. Right, they are magazines. Looks like a 5.56 drum mag, the 7.62 by 39 AK-47 round. I'm gonna try and look through some reports and see if somebody's missing 3 magazines in a rifle case.
But while the man was on the run, he made a grave mistake. He dropped his cell phone. Now, it is quite obvious that the police will now catch him.